Is that what you're saying, Drusif?
Isn't one of your things with the Brainworks SSL like that you can get all the different
You
the different channels, right? All
you
the
can. I mean, although I prefer not to do all the different channels because, like, I've gone through and listened to a lot of like the different EQ points, and because they model them like exactly right, the bummer for me is like on some of them. Here, you want to? Here, you can just watch my stream right now, Andy. I'll show you something.
I've been watching it.
Okay, so check this out. So if we go,
Now I'm not listening. Should I be listening to the stream?
no, you can just see it, like
All right.
mono audio track. So if we take signal generator. So if we take signal generator and then we put SSL console on it, and then we put Pro Q3, and I'll put the tilt so where it's like flat.
I'm so glad you finally bought the Pro Q3 after my recommendation.
Oh yeah, I mean I pretty much do everything you say. Guys, for your latest
brand new plugin that just came out.
Yeah, brand new one. Check it out. I'm so happy you finally brought FabFilter Pro Q1. Okay, so let's see.
I was gonna say I'm on. To Drusif's point, I'm actually on console 2.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so check this out. So here is what I don't like about this kind of thing. So this says we're at 3K, right? So that's like,
oh, I see.
That's 3K. Now if we switch channels, see how it changed frequencies? That's more like 2.5. That one's way down there. And when you go down into the, this channel, this mid-range one, that's where it gets even crazier. So this is supposed to be 1K. And it's at 647 hertz.
Oh.
Right? And then as you move, like all these have like, obviously the channel has drifted. Even that. So like the closest one to actually being 1K is like maybe channel 5.
So that's way different.
But like look how, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, so if you're like, you know, notching something or trying to EQ something, it's like so far off. You know what I mean? And obviously there is the argument of like, yeah, if you're gonna like, you know, if you want to do that kind of like thing where people are like, yeah, but what makes things wide is like the difference between left and right, you know, and like you just want to like notch things a little bit. But it's kind of like, well, I mean, that's like drastically different. That's not just like a little bit of hertz, you know?
Yeah, that's not.
That's.
I was thinking it would be some just tiny imperceptible.
Yeah, because you figure like to get way up to 1K, we're like up here now, up at 1.6, and then let's see what happens as you. Yeah, but then see now it changes.
Yeah.
So like there's one.
Yeah, it went up.
Yeah, so now.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah, it's just like the difference of it. Yeah, Dave, we're talking about like the difference that like the Brainworks stuff has. Like, so I'm doing pink noise and I'm boosting at, here, I'll just keep it at 1K again. But like you can see how this is not 1K. That's like 650 or something. And then as you go up.
And you're talking about the different, because the Brainworks plugin has different emulations of each different channel.
So they actually modeled,
console, right?
Yeah, they modeled the entire console, and they actually, like, this is exactly how the console sounds.
And so you're saying like the EQ boosts and frequencies are just like
they're too drastically different. for
That's
me
crazy.
for me to go through and do the whole like I'm gonna use like a different channel strip on each channel.
Like you can't reliably be like I'm boosting or cutting 1K. Like he's
Totally.
like it might be 600 or it might be 1300.
Exactly. Yeah, which is like so crazy different.
Yeah, that's wild.
But all that being said, I do, whenever I put a channel strip on something, I generally put the SSL channel strip on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the Neve one is cool, but for the most part, I like.
Would you do this aside from like a decapitator, or would you do that together? I feel like I would use a decapitator just in terms of simplicity over some channel strip like this, you know?
I guess if you're trying to say like but like you don't have the EQ power of.
Yeah, but
You know what I mean?
I guess that's why. Yeah, if I don't need the EQ power, I just use decapitator, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because that'll get you like the saturation and all that stuff, the harmonics. But
Wait, so Drusif, the waves doesn't do the channel thing we're talking about, right?
correct.
Where it's all different.
Yeah. Drew didn't get the message to hate on waves. So yeah, me and Kyle were talking, and like we both did a mix of the same song, like a test mix, I think, and we showed each other our mixes, and he was like, "Dude, what did you do to that snare drum?" And I was like, just like the typical kind of like high and low boost on the snare with a SSL channel strip. And he's like, I did the same thing. Let's Zoom call. So we Zoomed and we were like playing each other our audio, and we were both basically doing the same thing, but the Brainworks one just has such a better like harmonic distortion characteristic to it.
Versus waves? Is that what he was using?
Yeah, that the waves does not have.
Okay. Wait, so what DSP is your Brainworks running on?
Pro Tools HDX. So the big Pro Tools Ultimate / HDX, it runs on its own like proprietary DSP PCIe cards.
Okay. So like I don't own it, but I can buy the Brainworks SSL
Yeah.
UAD plugin.
Yep.
And it does the same thing on that DSP, right? Is it the same?
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. I don't think the Waves one does any of the saturation. Drew, what you should get is
Have you heard of Pro Q3 from FabFilter?
Right. Well, okay, so check it out though. So I don't know if I have the Waves one on here. Let me see. Oh, SSL channel. Here we go. I do have the Waves one, I think. Yeah. Here we go. Here we go, guys. We're getting science.
Hell yeah. We're doing SSL chat.
Okay, here we go. Sorry, this is going to be annoying, but I'm just going to mute this for a second. We don't need to hear that.
Let's get science.
Yeah, we're doing science now. Okay, so this is our... I'm going to do this full screen, so... Here we go. So this
Computer
is our...
enhance.
So this is our analyzer after the SSL channel strip, okay? And we are feeding in a 1K signal. All right, so if we are at... So you can see here that it doesn't start to add any harmonics until we get way up to... So like, yeah, if you're at minus 18, which is like standard, like nominal level. So Drusif, here's really all you need to see, right? So see how there's just the 1K signal? Now, if I crank up the gain on this signal generator plugin here, you'll start to see like, oh shoot, hold on, 1K. You'll start to see a harmonic coming up. Oh, there's two. So once this starts clipping, you'll see like, you know, it looks like maybe
Oh, cool.
a second and then third order harmonic, okay? Because your second order is a doubling and then your third is a third, right? So that's when you start to see the harmonics. Let me see if, yeah, so we just have input gain, and then we'll bring this down and see if we can just smash this all the way up, clipping like crazy. And then we'll bring can we bring our output down anymore? Yeah, this is like real clean, right? So we're at minus 22 dB of gain. And
Drew's in for some pain right now. He wants some buyer's remorse. Let's give it to him.
Okay. So you can see at pretty much full scale. So if I bypass SSL channel, full scale, pretty much, right? Like we're at like minus 1 dB. We're at actually 0.9, but there's minus 1, okay? So pretty much full scale 1K, we get like barely any third and second order harmonics, okay? But when gain
It's
is
pitiful. How many third and second? There's none.
That's disgraceful, right? But then that even shows it's clipping at that level, which is kind of sad. Which I actually, you know what? It looks like it's the same whether or not you gain it up more or not, right? So here it is with
Drew's saying he wants you to blast that output.
Well, yeah, so this is 0, right? So this is 0 gain, 0 output reduction, right? So now if we go all the way down and crank up the gain as much as we can, and then we'll bring this back up, it's still like the same amount of distortion, right? It looks like it. And then I wonder what analog does. Nothing, it just adds noise. Great. Okay. So now if we mute that. Now let's go Brainworks. Look at all those extra harmonics. And V gain is just noise. That's like the equivalent of like the waves analog.
The thing that should be turned off by default, but it's on sometimes.
Yeah, so stupid. V gain is just the that's just like
see, me and Drew are on the same. Yeah,
I'm the same way. It's like that should be off. So basically, the Brainworks one already has more harmonics, like without it even clipping, right? So you see like the second and the third, and then the fourth.
Yeah.
And then when we start cranking up the harmonic distortion, boom. And there lies our magic.
And now, so what does the waves plugin look like in this sort of scenario?
That's the one that we just did.
Thing we're talking about, right?
That's the one we just did. So here's waves right here.
Okay, so you're like, this is like 3 times the amount of harmonics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then here is...
Yo, I got pranked by waves, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Ashton Kutcher. I'm here on behalf of Waves Plugins. You've been punked.
Yeah.
This was a stock EQ the whole time.
Yeah, so this is the so this is Brainworks. And then same thing, if we go down, we can do the output trim, right? And then crank up this even more to where it brings up the gain max. And look at all these harmonics now. You've got your third order harmonic almost as loud as your main signal.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
So lots of third harmonics, and then you've got your second order harmonics way down here compared to... That's just sad.
And when you have that many harmonics, you're gonna get a Grammy, right?
Well, it hasn't happened to me yet. But
I mean, when the snare has that many harmonics, like, you're gonna get a Grammy eventually, right?
Right. Well, it's just science. So,
and
but then
that's science.
but that's the thing too.
Bring
Like,
it
so
full
you
circle.
figure like if we're down at like 200, which is where our snare fundamental is, right? Or
Yeah,
like
that's where the meat of it is. Yeah.
or let's just say 150. Let's go to 200.
Harmonics are directly proportional to Grammy noms.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for real.
that's what I'm saying.
So again, here's the waves, right? 200, and then just like what is this? Must be the third. So 2, 4, 6. Oh, hold on. My mom's calling me.
Oh, mom, I'm busy talking about third order harmonics. She's got to put that soothe plugin on.
Dude, my mom was on the chat. She was listening to what we were saying.
No.
Yeah,
No.
she's like, who is this foul-mouthed boy on your chat with you?
Oh. Who is this? He sounds not nice and certainly not calm.
No, who is this boy overreacting?
Meanwhile, she's like, I'm trying to mix this song and my ears are bleeding.
Right. Okay, so yeah, so here is our 200 sine wave, right? And then we've got, what is this? It should be at 6. 199. Come on. Get there.
Get there.
602 or 601. Yeah, pretty much 600, right? So that's our third order harmonic. And then if we go to this, I mean, look at that. So much better.
Wow.
And if we gain stage it, so we're up there.
And there's your Grammy, folks. Like, I don't know what else to say. Yeah.
And then we can go back up. Yeah, so now it's a little bit more proportionate. Yeah, dude, Drew, you got punked.
I've been goofed.
Yeah. But I mean, again,
Man,
it's like, is it really bad? Maybe you like a cleaner sound, right? So, I mean, to me,
couldn't be me, but you know.
right? Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, not me personally, but you know, I'm sure there are. And oh, dude, and check that out. Here's what really happens. So this is with the compression in, okay? And if you take the compression out, watch all these harmonics fly.
Oh my God, you just got a double Grammy by putting that compressor on.
Yeah, you say let your freak flag fly.
Yeah.
You know. So, but this I think is what was causing the difference between like my snare drum and his snare drum. Because like you figure this fundamental is just being reinforced across the board compared to this wimpy, like nobody's gonna F with that. You know what I mean?
Who gives a crap about that?
I mean, you cannot put a Grammy on that. This thing's gonna fall right off.
Freaking way.
It's gonna fall right off.
No
this
way.
right here, I could easily balance a Grammy on this. I could make a bridge of Grammys. Cute boy
with the
Dave.
sub.
Cute boy
Let's
Dave.
go.
It's quality content over here, guys. Woken up the audio community. So woked.
Woken up the audio community.
Yep. Telling you, you got to measure your Grammys by how much you can sit them on top of your frequency spikes.
It's about harmonics, folks.
Yeah, you can tell you what.
You get Grammys by harmonics, and you get good tone by playing the mood pedal from Chase Bliss Audio.